Hey friends, it's Sarah from She's Crafty and She Knows It, and today we're going to make some super cute ombre disco balls using alcohol ink. Now I'm going to start this video with a little disclaimer. I do love using alcohol ink, but it can be pretty messy. It dries quickly and it's permanent. So just use the necessary precautions. I have a garbage bag laid out on my table to kind of protect my work surface, and I'm going to be wearing gloves in the video to protect my hands. So protect your work surface, wear some gloves, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and so I have my disco balls right here, my alcohol ink over here, and then some makeup sponges. Later, when they're all done, I'll be adding some ribbon and trim and little tinsel to kind of dress them up for Valentine's Day, since that's the holiday that's right around the corner. Like always, I will link all the supplies I'm using in the description below this video. Okay, so I have kind of three different colors, a kind of a pink, a more magenta purpley pink, and then this one that I was hoping was red. It's a little bit more orange, and we're going to kind of mix them together to give an ombre effect. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this lighter pink one and take the lid off. Now, it does kind of drip out, so you don't need to like squeeze super hard. You can squeeze a little bit, but you don't want to squeeze a ton. Set it to the side. You have it on your little makeup sponge, and you're just going to brush it right onto the disco ball, just like you're applying makeup. Now, because this is messy and the alcohol ink is a little bit harder to clean up, I would say this is not really a kid-friendly craft, not something I would do with my girls, just because I think it could get everywhere and be really messy. So just for whatever that's worth, if you're more adventurous than me and want to try it with your kids, go for it. But for me, it seems like it could get extremely messy and maybe not worth all the cleanup. I'm going to go on to my next color. It's a little bit of a darker pink. I'm going to put it on a different sponge. I'm going to kind of go over the middle section, kind of blending them. So this one's just barely darker. It's hard to tell in the video. It's just a little bit more of a purpley pink, a magenta versus a pink pink. And then I'm going to go a little bit towards the bottom because I know this color is more orange than I want it to be. And so I'm going to try and turn it to more of a red. And go back to the previous color, touch up the top. Okay, let's use our last little color. Try not to knock over your alcohol inks if they're sitting there open like mine. Okay, now we're going to add the last little color. Just kind of dabbing, or you can wipe it. I'm going to put a little bit more of this darker pink kind of over the middle to kind of blend the line of where that new color is sitting. Okay, that actually blended really nice. Hopefully you can see that. So it's kind of pink on top, it gets darker pink, and then turns to red. Like I said, you can really just kind of touch it up. The spots get bare. But that is how quick it is. It's so easy. So you can tell I have my finger right there. So if a spot gets kind of bare a little bit, I'm trying to keep these in the right order. You can add a little bit more. Dab it in any spot that gets bare. And then I try to just kind of set them up to dry on a paper plate, kind of lean it against the side. If you need to touch up any spots after it dries, of course, you can go back and do a second layer to touch up the bottom. And then while it's sitting here, I kind of just touch up the top where I have my fingers. You might be less messy than me in how you touch it, but it looks super cute. Love the ombre. I think for the next one, I'm going to kind of do the opposite. So start with the more of the orangish red at the top and then go on. Let's see if there's enough already on this sponge. Let's see. Oh yeah. I was really hoping this is more of a red. It kind of looked like a red in a bottle, but it is definitely more of an orange. So if I do that and then do the, actually I'll do that and then do the more purpley magenta color. Now I kind of dab more than wipe, because if you wipe, it seems to kind of remove some of the color, especially in the areas that are overlapping. And so I kind of try to dab, dab, dab more than anything. And then I'm going to go on to the lighter pink on the bottom. Kind of fill in any gaps. I just need a tiny bit of this darker Now, of course, you could do this with blues and greens or purples, whatever colors you're wanting. If you want to do yellows or whatever, it doesn't have to be pinks and oranges and reds. I was just doing this because it's so close to a Valentine's Day that I kind of wanted more of a pink, red, purpley color scheme, but you can do whatever you want. These alcohol inks come in so many different colors. It's kind of fun to grow your collection and just have a ton of them. The good thing is that this is totally something that you can't mess up, except for unless you make a really big mess. But you can just keep adding more layers and kind of recoloring over if you need to, and just touch it up as you go. Okay, that looks really good. I'm just going to touch up the little top area while it's sitting here from where my fingers were kind of touching it. Just like that. Okay, we're going to move on to our very last one. So I'm going to go back and do kind of what I did on the first one. So I'm trying, these two colors are so similar. I'm trying to honestly tell them apart. Okay. So get my alcohol ink on here. Start at the top. Dab around. Now, once this is dry, the alcohol ink is dry, it's pretty permanent on there. Now, of course, you could like rub super hard, which I don't recommend doing anyways on a disco ball. It kind of has little sharp edges, but you could rub super hard and maybe wipe some of it off if you were really trying to, but it really is pretty permanent on there. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay, I'm going to go on to my a little bit more purpley magenta. Try to hold at the top so I don't make smudges. This would be fun just as decorations. I didn't mean to do that color. See, I picked up the wrong one and just put orange on the top of that one. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to go back and try to smooth it out, cover it up. So I'm telling you, now you can't really even see it. It kind of actually blended into a pretty pink. So you really can't mess this up. Don't worry about that. I was not paying attention. So there you go. But I was saying this would be a really cute little decoration, things to sit around for a birthday party. Okay, now we're going to go on to the orange at the bottom. I think I need a tiny bit more on there. I got some on the plate. Let me scoop it up. Okay, like I said, kind of where I did the orange color with the purpley, it kind of left, hopefully you can see this, it's like a pretty splotchy, kind of messy area. I'm going to kind of tidy up the top one last time, and I'm going to go over this middle color one more time to kind of smooth out where that orange meets the magenta, if that makes sense. Kind of just blend it together. That way it's not such hard lines, it's just more of an ombre look. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry, and like I said, of course, you can touch it up later if you realize there's kind of thumbprints in a couple spots where you had to hold it. Once it's dry, you can hold it in a different spot and kind of touch it up as needed. Okay, so that's really it. I'm just going to let them dry now and then come back later and add some ribbon or trim or tinsel to kind of dress them up to make them super cute. Like I said, I will link all the supplies I used in the description below this video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for more videos. Bye!
She's crafty and she knows it. She's crafty and she knows it. She's crafty and she knows. She's crafty and she knows.